Gentlemen, Tedward, Justin,
Hello.
we are back. Pitchmark Collective's back. We took a little mid-year break here. I think we might have had like a Masters hangover, maybe, possibly. We're also just busy human beings, so it's good to see you, gentlemen, connect once again for a lovely episode of the Pitchmark Collective. Justin, how you doing, pal?
Good. I think you're pretty accurate when it comes to the Masters hangover. There was so much excitement that happened during that week, and then obviously the following week. It's kind of tough to get back into it. Like RBC, I'm not super excited about, but I don't know. Like the Masters just did it all for me. I don't know how it's going to get better for the rest of the year.
See, I really like the RBC, but it's just so hard because nothing, like especially this year with Rory completing the Grand Slam, falling apart 76 times on Sunday, but got it back together 77 times, right?
Yeah.
It was just so hard to compare to that, and you're like, now we have the CJ Cup.
Yeah. Well, sorry, that's what I
Zurich
meant.
Classic.
I meant the CJ Cup. Like it's hard for me to get into the CJ Cup right now. I'm like,
Although Scotty Scheffler just shot 10 under.
yeah. I mean, maybe Scotty's back, but he's also the only player in the top 20 of the world that actually is attending this. So it's like a alternate field, yet Scotty's there.
Hey Teddy, is Scotty back?
I would say he never left.
Yeah, he's top 20 like every tournament this year. He's third in like the FedEx Cup standings.
He's pretty much your top 10 lock. So yeah, he just hasn't won in some of these events that we've expected him to. But it's not that he's back. He's never left.
Yeah, he actually just kind of came closer to earth a little bit from last year, and looks like he set himself up. He's got a 2-stroke lead after 18 holes at the CJ Cup. I doubt he takes his foot off the pedal, right? So it's funny. It's just like, yeah, he's third in the FedEx Cup. He hasn't won, so he's having an off year. When it's like, no, he just won 4,000 times last year and set the bar really high for this year.
He's played in 8 events, has 8 top 25s, 5 top 10s, and 1 runner-up.
Yeah,
made almost $5 million. Like that's a career for some guys. And this is just like a mediocre start to the year.
This is a down year.
This is like, what is Scotty doing?
He was like top 5 at the Masters with his like C- game. So
yeah, that's hilarious to me.
Well, before we get too far into golf, we need to have a conversation, gentlemen. And it surrounds a conversation that's been swirling, twirling, and mixing up on the internet. It has to do with 100 men in hand-to-hand combat with a single gorilla. We'll call it a silverback gorilla because those are the scariest looking ones if you ask me. And 100 men beat up a single gorilla. Who wants to kick us off here?
I'll go ahead. So at first, like my initial reaction without really thinking more than half a second is like, yeah, 100 guys can bum rush a gorilla and take it out easy. But if you really think about it, and like if you've stood next to a gorilla, even if there's glass or fence separating you, they're massive. And I think you kind of have to try to consider some sort of strategy to even survive. Like your first 50 guys, they're dead.
Yeah, they're taking one for the team and just getting
first 50 guys are dead. Then the next wave, like what are you doing? Like has there been any impact on this gorilla? Is he slowing up? Is the adrenaline going now? Like now is he even stronger, even faster?
And also, you just saw 50 men perish in front of you. Like, how confident are you feeling either way?
There's no way to really get all 100 guys to like have
making an impact,
have a hand on this gorilla at the same time. If that was physically possible, then yes, I would say 100 men could beat up a gorilla. But it's just not physically possible to have 100 guys, 200 sets of hands on a gorilla at one time. So yeah, you're screwed.
My first question was, do they get weapons?
No, it's
The gorillas.
Yeah.
The gorillas don't need the weapons.
No, the men.
I know.
I was like, can there be any weapons involved? Because otherwise, the men are screwed in hand-to-hand combat.
So you don't. You're on the gorilla side in
I
that
think the
in that
gorilla's
war.
destroying and ripping apart all 100 men.
I think
Okay.
the way I viewed this question is like just your average Joe man, right?
Mhm.
100 average Joes, like because it didn't necessarily lean one way or the other. Do I think that there is a combination of 100 men who exist in the world right now that could probably get the best of a gorilla? I think so.
Like 100 rocks.
Yeah, like if you get like the best of the best specimens, like I'm thinking of like the dudes from like the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones, like the later
Mhm.
seasons, the second one.
Like
Like that
100
guy's like
heavyweight MMA champions.
that guy's like 8 feet tall, strong man, like just you'd have to have many of those types in this 100 men, the field of 100 men. You'd have to. You can't send me out there. You can't send Teddy out there. You can't send Justin. So I go either way when I make that caveat. If it's 100 average Joes, we're toast. We're just done. No shot.
Now, what do you think the number would be of men where it might lean towards the 150,
Right.
175 men? And let's say it's professional golfers. Okay, clearly not 100 professional golfers are going to be able to take down a gorilla. What's that number of professional golfers who are athletes? How many of them would it take to take down a single gorilla?
Like
My head
100
is
Scott
stuck on
Stallings.
250.
250. Okay.
250. Because like I'm
What's
thinking like
I mean, you got
Scotty
Brian
Scheffler's
Harmon out
probably not doing
there.
much. Brian Harmon's 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like if you go down the line of the
Iceman.
top 250 people in the world, there's maybe like 3 specimen, maybe that I maybe even one. I don't even know who's a specimen in golf.
Scott Stallings. Isn't he
Yeah.
like the fittest guy in golf? I mean, Rory. Rory's kind of a specimen. He's strong. works
Rory
out.
is like,
Or Brooks.
you can tell he's athletic. Brooks, people hype up Brooks. I
Yeah, but
I
Brooks
don't buy
works
into
out
that.
at least. I mean, look at
Bryson,
half the golfers out there, and you're like, oh yeah, you can't even do a push.
we're gonna need like winged foot Bryson in this. Like we
Mhm.
need him
Hulked
to be a
out
meathead.
Bryson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Bryson, take steroids, Bryson. Like let's
like
do that.
Bryson, bring out your Orgain shakes in your golf bag and have
If
4 of them
if we're
for
looking
a-
at pro golfers, it's 200 plus at least.
Okay,
Ooh,
Justin. Let's say you.
maybe Tiger Woods, like prime after SEAL training.
Okay.
He's kind of a specimen, right?
Yeah, but
Like
right now, like
05,
he's toast.
06.
Yeah,
He's
like
kind of beefy.
pre fall down the crack, and
Did he do Bryson's thing before Bryson did Bryson's thing?
I mean, he went through the whole SEAL
HGH.
training.
Like bulking up. He was already longer than everybody on tour, and then he just got like strong.
I mean,
I think he just grew up.
He just like actually matured into a man because he's been on. He was on tour when he was like 17.
Well, I think it's just like
Teddy,
know.
you're saying Tiger's balls dropped at age 35.
Well, it's what like
I turned
I mean,
35 in January, and that's my experience. So maybe it's true.
Cam's like,
Like-
I'm so looking forward to this birthday.
well, I just feel like with guys like you hit a certain age and then you finally like the metabolism is slowed down. Like you start to it's a little bit easier to put on some pounds. I haven't got to that point yet, but I'm sure you guys experienced that at some point. So I think just Tiger, like, when he came on tour, 96, 97, like he was still, what, 20, 21 years old. So yeah, I think he finally, like, the metabolism started to slow down. He had always been like working out, maybe not to the extent as like the Navy SEAL training, but I think it got a little bit easier for him to, put some pounds on.
Well, that and like you have all the money in the world, you have all the time in the world. Like if you're not playing golf, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, we kind of know what he was doing when he wasn't playing golf back then. Like we don't have to speak about it. But it's like, okay, dude, you go womanize, you go play golf, you work out. Why not?
Yeah. What else? What else are you gonna do?
You have state of the art equipment because you have state of the art equipment because you are a billionaire.
What do
Why
you
not,
think?
dude?
So 200 plus for golfers. What if they were allowed one club out of their bag?
Golf club,
What would that number look like?
75.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're under the 100 with some clubs.
Because
I
the
don't know. You
gorilla's
can.
gonna be able to take some hits early on. Like he's gonna be able to. But
Yeah,
like one hit from a gorilla, these guys are toast.
yeah.
Right? So it's like maybe you get 1 or 2 hits. And where are those landing? Probably not like you're not
I mean,
hitting
you
the
got to go for
nail
the
right
head,
away.
right?
Yeah.
Or
But that's
do you go for the legs and then hope that you can just stay out of reach?
but like does your golf club just bend on this gorilla's muscular body?
I was gonna say.
It probably
Like if
after.
you
I
miss
mean,
with if you miss with the head and say like he puts his arm up and blocks your
yeah.
shot, like he's gonna be flexed, dude.
I
You're
mean, yeah.
bending
You
that
don't want to be
shaft.
the first within the first few guys that are taking a swing at him. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And
And are
then you
you
kind of
using
hope.
a like a
Well, I
3 iron to be as far
uh,
away as possible?
yeah, you want to
But
be as far as you want as much of a reach as possible,
but with the steel
and
shaft, you don't
something
want a
with steel
graphite
shaft.
shaft. Yeah.
Maybe a lab broomstick, possibly.
Ooh, get the original DF.
So Lucas Glover's coming out, and we're getting 100 Lucas Glovers.
I think you start like the first 15 guys are lab putter users,
Yeah.
specifically the broomsticks, and then you
Yeah.
kind of hope the last like 25 guys or so. That's when you get, your Rory, your JTs, your faster swingers, your Brysons, and then those guys can finish them off.
Top them off, yeah.
Also, now you get rid of all lab putter users
And now
from
all
PGA
lab
Tour.
putter users are dead. Seti, I
Correct.
see your game. I get it. You caught
There
me.
we go. We just killed the gorilla.
Cue the Drewski. You caught me meme.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so we've laid out the I almost said Glorilla. GLO.
Okay, well, that's another discussion. How many professional golfers would it take to beat up Glorilla?
Probably just Angel Cabrera, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's okay. Justin
All
has
right,
no
well
idea who that
we're
is.
just gonna promptly
No
move
idea
on
what
from
you're
that
talking about
topic.
at this point.
Glorilla is a rapper.
She's a rapper.
Oh, got it.
And Angel Cabrera is a professional golfer who was sentenced to prison for like severe domestic like kidnapping and shit. So
Yeah, I know that.
oh okay.
Didn't he play in the Masters this year?
Yes.
Yeah, it was his
We
first
watched him. He
tournament.
the practice
years.
round he was with Jonathan Vegas.
Well, Vegas is a decent sized guy.
He's a little stocky guy. He's got some girth to him.
We okay.
I've made like 8 inappropriate innuendo jokes so far, and we've been recording for 13 minutes. So
Yeah, it's off to a
Shall we?
solid start.
yeah, solid start. We're not editing, dude. All gas, no breaks today. That's my saying today. I've said it 47 times. Let's do like a little mid-year recap. We've had some first-time winners. We've had some really good tournaments. One thing that's not really like kind of being spoken about is like Rory's won 3 times this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like on track to like what Scotty did last year, and nobody's kind of like talking about it.
Well, I think last year, like he was playing well, he just wasn't winning. And because Scotty and Sander at the end of the year, like because the two of them are the ones actually winning these tournaments, I think people just kind of forgot that Rory's been playing some really good golf for a while now. And now he's finally, obviously he just won the Masters. So
And that's the thing, like in this major drought that Rory had, he won like 18 golf tournaments.
Yeah.
He was winning golf tournaments, just wasn't winning the important ones.
I mean, we'll call it like the Amazon effect, right? And like just real world where everyone wants something like right now. And Amazon kind of changed things. Like Tiger changed everything for golf. Because now you expect like our superstars to be Tiger Woods and to win 8 tournaments a year and go on these crazy runs and be consistent for year after year after year. I mean, we got to remember the golfers who have won the Grand Slam. There are 5. You know,
Right.
like even the career Grand Slam. There's 5 golfers, and I mean,
A couple of them have done it twice too, which is crazy.
but like the expectations that we have on like Scotty, right? We were talking about him earlier. Like for him to have 2 years in a row of what he had, like I don't think that's even possible with the amount of competition we have. And then you've got Rory, who it's crazy that he's not getting as much hype as Scotty did last year. I mean, Scotty was all over and like everyone was talking about him. And now Rory's won 3 tournaments this year. He's first in the FedEx Cup points, second world ranking again. And like, is this mediocre for him? Even though
I
this is
will
probably one best year in 10 years?
I will say, Scotty kind of stormed onto the scene, right? Like Scotty's still relatively young compared to like where Rory was at. So I think like Rory, he had that comparison, right? When he was winning those majors back in the early 2010s and really when he first burst onto the scene. Then he slowed up. And then Jordan Spieth did it a couple years later when he won his Masters and blew up at the Masters the next year and won the U.S. Open and won the Open Championship. Like people like we have an opportunity to see 2 more Grand Slams. We could see Jordan do it at the PGA, and I believe Phil needs an Open.
Yeah.
But I think it has to play into like Scotty's kind of newness to the tour compared to where Rory's been around. He's been around the block. He's been around winning. I get it, but it's like he's kind of tracking where Scotty was last year with how many wins he already has this year. So
What's kind of crazy, like Rory has played on tour since 2007.
mm-hmm.
Or I mean 2009 is when he really like that's when he made 11 events. But think about that. Like this guy's almost been on tour for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around forever.
Yep. I was watching. So when he won the Masters, I just kind of Googled like Rory stuff, YouTube, and he has some like pretty crazy like finishes on the like in Japan. He had a couple tournaments where these dudes who probably never played off the Asian tour were just like giving him a run for his money, hitting these incredible shots. Like I'll send you the link to the video I watched because it was actually exhilarating. You look at it, it's like wow, this was in like you said, 2008, 2009.
Flat bill Rory era.
Yeah, dude. The golf stuff like right before that, dude, with this tiger and his big old sleeves and the like actual
Ashworth.
baggy like dress pants.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible.
Creases on your
Yeah.
khakis.
Yeah.
Well, creases are back now, thanks to Adam Scott.
Did they ever really go anywhere thanks to Adam Scott?
I think it was more recent, like within the last like 5 years. That's when he brought the creases back.
So, real quick here, we've got what Rory won Pebble, and then Rory won the Players.
And he's not winning like rinky-dink tournaments.
Rory won the Masters.
Yeah.
Like just think about like one of those wins is like hell yeah, like that's my season. He just pulled off 3 of them. They weren't 3 small events.
I imagine most golfers want to win at every single one of those golf courses. Like Pebble Beach, like golfers want to win whatever tournaments there. It's in the U.S. Open rotation. That's where Gary Woodland won his U.S. Open. I mean, the Players, we all know, like that is a tournament that the players want to win and want to be at every year. And then the Masters, of course, is like he's not winning the CJ Cup. You know, he's winning
the
these
Cognizant
signature and important events.
No disrespect to the CJ Cup.
No disrespect to the CJ Cup.
So, well, and maybe this kicks off like the year, right? We started with Hideki at the Sony Open or Century Tournament of Champions.
When he won that, I'm like, Hideki's like gonna do something, and then he kind of he's been around a little bit, but not.
I mean,
that win,
he went deep too. Like that entire tournament was crazy. Then you've got the Canadian coming up in the Sony Open, Nick Taylor, which you kind of saw a win coming from him at some point based off last year. I think Teddy, you actually really liked Nick Taylor
Yeah.
for a few
I've
wins.
also picked Hideki like 3 times since he
Yeah.
won this country. So
And then you've got Sepp Straka with Amex, which honestly, he's put together a really, really good season for Sepp. I mean,
I think since the Masters, he's kind of fell off. He didn't have a good showing at Augusta.
he didn't.
I don't think
Yeah.
he made the cut.
But I mean, pre Masters, he was up there 3 or 4
Yeah,
times.
I think we all picked him at least once, maybe. But
Yeah.
before that, to be an outright winner,
at least Cam and I.
I definitely picked him.
I just pick all the last place.
I don't even remember Harris English winning at Torrey Pines. I just have no recollection of that happening.
No clue.
Yeah,
But I see him like in the Ryder Cup rankings, and I see him in the FedEx. I'm like, why is he there? But that makes sense because if he won at the Farmers, then
well, and wasn't that a playoff as well? Because we had a few really good tournament. Oh no, it wasn't a playoff. It was. I mean, but this is the reason you don't remember it for whatever reason. I mean, it's Harris English, Sam Stevens, Andrew Novak, which obviously he played well last week in the Zurich, and then Sunjay
Andrew
M.
Novak's had a sneaky good year.
Yeah, he has. Then it's like Chris Ventura, Hayden Springer, Taylor Penn. I mean, like no one was playing well in that. Which
the field wasn't there, or were like the big names just not.
The big names just didn't show up. I mean,
yeah.
Luke Clanton, I think that was the biggest thing we talked about, was seeing him there. And then he obviously got invited to some of the following tournaments because he had that top 15. So
right.
I don't know. But then from what Farmers, we go to Pebble Beach where Rory won. And then we've got a first time winner at the Waste Management, which I don't know. Waste Management didn't have as much excitement as sometimes it does.
I think they tried to tone it down a little bit. It's still an event that like people are going to flock to and try to attend. But I feel like you didn't get as many reports this year for just the rowdy.
It wasn't all around Twitter about how many people got arrested on Saturday and stuff. Yeah.
Or the bars.
They definitely policed it probably a little harder. Or they're just like, we don't have to tell people this information.
Yeah. But
it's making us look bad, guys.
But that's where Straight Vibin kind of showed up, right? He was tied for second with Cam's favorite golfer of all time, Michael Kim.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like I think DB Straight Vibin got his hook into Teddy at that tournament because I think Teddy picked him a couple times.
I picked him a couple of times.
Well, I picked him for last at least once, but I did pick him to win an event.
I think you were just mad at him because he didn't win the event, so you picked him for last.
That's what it was.
I think also the Waste Management is where we started getting excited for JT and Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, because they both had pretty good showings.
Yeah, they were top 10s, and I think everyone was like, "Oh, is this where we start seeing Jordan Spieth come back to planet Earth and playing some golf that we can like root for him?"
Hand up accountability. I jumped fully back on that train after the Waste Management.
Yeah.
I think, so.
I know. And then, you did a cannonball into it. You didn't
And then 3 weeks later, I took over the lead car and drove it off a bridge because it kind of just fell off again.
I mean, at least JT is stayed somewhere. But we go into our second signature event, which, this would be the third at this point, which is the Genesis. And I mean, Scotty.
Where did they move it?
Torrey.
Where did they play? It was
Genesis
at Torrey
played
again,
at
right?
Torrey again. Yeah.
Because they were there like 3 weeks before that, or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got Ludwig who showed up and won, and kept 1 stroke lead against Maverick McNeely, and then obviously Scotty was there. Scotty, I think this was the week that Scotty just didn't look like it, and then he made a run on I think it was Sunday. Yeah, well, he had a horrible round 3. He shot a 76, but I think that was
that guy sucks.
It was so windy, wasn't it? That was
Yeah, I
what was
think so.
happening. Yeah. So I mean, you had the big names there, but again, it wasn't anything where you're like, oh yeah, this is. I don't think the excitement got ramped up either.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Then you go into a bunch of tournaments where it's like the Mexico Open. I mean, we're
It's where
Brian
like
Campbell.
people, it's important for people to win, like like a Highsmith or the Brian Campbells, like to win because then they secure their card, they get invited to the majors. Like that's the exciting part about those types of events. It's hard to
Yeah.
watch unless you are like a golf nut. Like your run of the mill weekend golfer is not going to tune into the Cognizant. It's just not going to happen.
Well, Mexico Open was hard because wasn't that the playoff between Brian Campbell and Boynton?
Which one was Pot Eater? Was that
Eater.
one? That
That
was
was
that one.
Eater
Mm.
where
Yeah.
I mean he was out driving Campbell by 60 yards.
And Brian Campbell pulled a cam and hit his tee shot into the right woods and got a lucky break in the
Yeah.
playoff. Wasn't that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Shout
And
out to
came
that
back
tree.
and well yeah, and won.
Hey,
Um
speaking of like trees, I love the meme. Teddy, you've probably seen it, where it's like me to the tree that kicked out my ball in the fairway, and it's Tiger Woods
Mhm.
shaking Vern Lundquist's
oh yeah.
hand because he retired it. I think it was 20
Right
2 years
2024.
standing behind the tree.
Yeah, it's
2 years
just the
ago at the
arms.
Masters.
I love that, dude. I love
Yeah.
seeing it every time. Sorry, derailed us. Let's get back on track.
Well, in Mexico Open was kind of where the chokes that we saw started to happen. You had
Yeah.
that, and then Joe Highsmith. I mean, someone in that tournament choked for him to come back and win. But I mean, Thomas Dietrich at the Waste Management was a first-time winner. Cognizant was a first-time winner. Then you get into Teddy. This is your favorite winner, I think, this year at the API, which is Russell Henley.
Well, it's not that I'm not a Russell Henley fan or anything. It's just like it was surprising because it was beautiful weather, and he's anytime it's gonna be raining and windy and just shit weather. That's when you pick Russell Henley. It was beautiful that whole week at the API. That's the one he wins. Makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Somebody at Captain Keegan Bradley to pick Russell Henley for the Ryder Cup just to keep him on reserve in case of bad weather. Somebody at Keegan.
Yes.
I mean, Keegan Bradley was actually involved in the API as well. He was 4 shots back, but that was a kind of a battle
Didn't
coming down the stretch between him and Colin.
Wasn't it kind of a tough finish by Colin? A little bit of a choke too. I know Russell Henley chipped in for Eagle, and nobody saw it because the broadcast was awful.
Yeah, I
But I
don't know
think
if he
Colin
choked. He
also
shot
kind
a
of
70. He shot a 72. I mean, we talked about that on our podcast for that episode. It was like, did Colin choke or did Russell just get lucky out of an eagle
would
chip
Russell
to
Henley shoot?
shot a 70?
Fields
Yeah.
under par. Why aren't you? You know what I'm saying?
Well, everyone was too, and Keegan Bradley made a run on Sunday by shooting that 64. Again, you've got Sepp Straka in the mix. He's a top 10, and Shane Lowry. So I don't know. That was probably up until that point. That was the most exciting tournament we had because of that chip in. Until you get to
I
the
could agree. I
playoff
could agree with that
with the
finish. Yeah.
players. I thought the players was. I mean, that's probably tournament of the year for me so far.
It sucked that you had to watch it on Monday. It's almost like a different tournament at that point.
Totally.
It
But
kind of prolonged. Like nobody in my office did anything until the playoff was over, so that
yeah,
was kind of nice.
yeah. And then like JJ, like you ice the golfers at this point, and like Rory's in a lane of his own when it comes to skill and just pedigree. Like you kind of knew, like, yeah, JJ Spawn, sorry, dude, but it's just not gonna happen. Like you
Yeah.
could have said that as soon as they were like, yeah, we're playing Monday. I'm like, yeah, JJ Spawn's done.
Done.
No shot.
And he was
Especially when
what he was like half of a ball roll away from winning
From
outright.
winning.
on 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like
You go from
left
that to
putt.
just like getting blown out in the 4-hole playoff or 3 whatever it is, 3 or 4-hole playoff.
Yeah. I mean, that was also where JT showed more signs of excitement because he had like the record for the craziest, like what he shoot like an 80 or something, and then comes back and shoots a 61.
Yeah. What's crazy about JT is like how many course records he either has on his own or shares.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 12 on tour. He has the
Yeah.
most rounds at 62 or under by like 10.
Yeah.
Guy goes stupid low, but like you can't shoot 80 before you do that.
Yeah. He doesn't put 4 rounds together, but he'll by hell put one together.
I was happy to see him make that putt on 18 in the playoff at RBC. That was clutch.
Yeah.
That's all, that's all it is. It's clutch. Luckily he's in good form, and I think like if we're picking players for the Ryder Cup, I think you pick JT no problem. It's not like a thing like it was 2 years ago with Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
I still think Spieth could
Now,
probably be picked.
would it be a
But-
thing for Keegan to pick JT since Keegan got booted for JT?
I don't think you could pass up JT this year like you could 2 years ago. I mean, he was
Can I
struggling.
say something? I think the JT pick 2 years ago was fine.
So do I.
He
just
he has a
question.
proven track record in the Ryder Cup. Like I'm a Spieth fan through and through, right? I think he was the more of like, what are we doing here?
Mhm.
Right. I just want to say that.
I
But
just
I also don't think Keegan holds that as much animosity as people want him to off of
No.
2 years ago. I think he's ready. He's moved on. He's like, yeah, we're gonna beat the Europeans in New York. We're gonna beat them into the ground. I'm gonna pick the best team that we've ever had on the Ryder Cup.
So as of right now, JT is 6. So he's an
I would
automatic.
say that win had to bring him up into the
Yeah, he's an automatic pick.
yeah.
Which
Who's-
so's Russell Henley. So we
But
got
he did well. Teddy said he did well at the President's Cup. I'm trusting Teddy's word for that. Was it
he
raining?
was
I don't
paired
know.
with Scotty.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah.
It helps. Like number one player in the world. Like I won 97
Yeah,
times last year.
it can help overlook some issues, sure.
But you also got it. You also like a lot of professional athletes and high level athletes. They'll play up, right? They'll play
Mhm.
up to the talent around them. I think a lot of people do that in their line of work. It's kind of like a human nature thing to like, listen, this guy's better than me. I want to try and close that gap as much as possible.
Yeah.
So who are the 6 picks? Run through them, Justin. Like the 6 auto qualifiers.
Scotty, Xander, Colin, Bryson, Russell, JT.
I do like that Bryson's there. I don't know how. Like,
I
what
like
is he
Bryson.
doing to make it there? Is it just from his U.S. Open win and
Yeah, I mean,
major stuff last year.
yeah.
I think so.
I guess he had a good showing at the Masters too. I mean, what, third?
Yeah. Now the
fourth?
next 4 are really kind of strange, and I'm sure this plays out a little bit different. But you got Mav McNeely, Brian Harmon, Andrew
God.
Novak, and JJ Spawn.
Oh boy.
Teddy,
What's
I
funny
remember
is-
saying I remember saying I was worried. I was worried about the depthness.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, because the Europeans are kind of scary, man.
I think if we stopped after the first 6 and went 6 for 6 on both sides, it'd be like, dude, USA, this is a no-brainer.
All the way.
But the longer Justin was talking, that's just that was tough. That was brutal. 7 was Mav McNeely. He's 7.
Yeah. He's 7th right now.
Well, he's almost an auto qualifier, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
He's like a top 10 or 2 away from auto qualifying.
Yeah. So like if Bryson shits down his leg, like
Yep.
are we screwed? Is America screwed?
Or doesn't get any more points because what's he got? I mean, he's got the 2 majors left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If he doesn't like
when do they pick the captain's
question.
picks?
Not actually.
What's the deadline? Like, what's the day?
It's a
There's
Tuesday. I
plenty.
believe.
Don't get us wrong. There's plenty of golf until this.
Well,
point.
there's so much golf.
They're done on the PGA or the BMW Championship on August 17th.
And they pick probably right after that.
Yeah. So that's when they pick. So,
I don't listen. I'll say this. I don't mind the idea of Brian Harmon. He's been in big scenes. He's
yeah,
not the
but Brian
sexiest,
Harmon,
flashiest guy.
They've taken him. They've taken him before.
Bethpage Black.
So he's gonna hit 500. Whatever. It's fine.
But that's his game. He hits it all the time.
Yeah.
Bethpage is longer than any other course they play on tour, right?
Most guys are still
you
hitting
can strategically
8 irons.
What if you put him and Bryson together? Alt shot, dude.
That's awful. They're both going to be hitting from places they've never been before in their entire
Alt
life.
shot would be just like, oh.
Harmon's gonna be like, "What do you mean we have 9 iron into this fucking?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I've been hitting 4 irons and up my entire life.
I don't trust McNeely. I don't trust JJ Spawn. Who else? Who was the other?
Novak.
That was it. Novak.
All right.
These are all toss-ups.
But at some point, like someone's got to show up, and like it might have to be a new guy.
Yeah, that's fine. A younger new guy, like when we had Zalatoris, right? That was fine. Like we got kind of young. The last Ryder Cup,
and then he
I was all for it. Right, but he did it for America, so
he did. Shout out to Will Zalatoris for sacrificing his body for the red, white, and blue.
Valid.
But like, you're not going to bring why would you bring JJ Spawn? Like, how old is he? He's like 30.
He's also got to be the least intimidating guy in the world.
Yeah,
on all levels.
Depends on where you're
at. Hey guys, it's JJ.
I think you guys just don't like him because he was rolling the rock with a lab putter.
I don't mind JJ Spawn. I just want a Rory. I am a Rory fan. Why would I root for JJ Spawn at the Players if Rory's in the mix? It's just not going to happen.
I'm okay with JJ Spawn having success. I don't want him in my Ryder Cup lineup and a Sunday singles match to come down to his golf game.
Well, I mean, people are still talking about how Keegan can play his way in, but he's 22nd on the list right now, and he's got to get over Akshay, Michael Kim, Tony Finau, Billy Wyndham. I mean, even Lucas Glover's 15th.
All guys I would take over those next 3 on the automatic qualifiers.
I would say, like, if Michael Kim continues and is in form, I would like to see him. Because I think he could be a little bit of fresh air for the team, play well, and like be that surprise factor. He's not young, but he's not old.
Well, I mean, you put him and Russell Henley together. There's not going to be any fireworks, but they are going to be so hard to beat. You know what I mean? And
maybe that's the thing. Is like we've never seen Michael Kim in this kind of setting. Like. He could be like Siwoo Kim and hit people with the night celebration. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
He may just go, "Oh, it's the bird."
So all right, so we got a little distracted on the Ryder Cup thing, which was actually a good conversation, but we'll get back into this.
Pal.
It is because
it's on the agenda.
It's our country. So now we go into
not on the agenda.
The players championship. We finished
for the
that
listeners. Teddy's actively adding the Ryder Cup to the agenda.
We go straight into the Valspar, which I don't know. After the
was great. It was great.
It was good, but it's the same thing that happened to me after the Masters. After the Masters, I watched RBC, and I did not want to watch Zurich, and I don't want to watch the CJ Cup for whatever reason.
I mean,
but
as a Copperhead and Valspar hater, it was a great tournament.
Yeah.
Well, and it was interesting to watch like Victor and JT go through that. And I asked that question then.
Victor couldn't find a fair way to save his life. He had no idea where his ball was going. He admitted to it. And he's like, yeah, I guess I would just won the golf tournament.
But did JT choke?
I think we declared that, yes, he choked.
No. You and I said no.
Yeah, I was the one who said
on. Yes. Tim came on, called you specifically a pussy.
I remember.
Yes. I remember.
He did. He called us out.
But
No
but
backbone.
again,
Number one listener, Tim Hunt.
JT's in the mix, you know, and Hovland somehow gets that win, which good for him. We go to
We've made
And
it
right
so
on
far.
cue,
We've made it so far.
40 minutes.
But that's okay. Victor Hovland won the Valspar. Then we get our another first-time winner, who I think is a fan favorite, Minwoo Lee, at the Texas Children's. So
Where do you stand on his Lululemon endorsement?
I'm fine with it. Like, I think he's like the guy that, like, he's the Lulu. Like, he probably was wearing Lululemon long before they were like, dude, let's sponsor this guy. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like, he
agree.
chose to wear Lululemon before they paid him to do it.
I've
Everything that
contemplated
I've
getting some Lululemon because of some of the ads I've seen with it.
They're not necessarily probably the most beefy guy friendly company, but I
Mhm.
think they probably make pretty good product. You know, I don't mind it. We're talking
You have-
Minwoo Lee and Lululemon.
do you have their pants for like work?
Me?
Yeah, like
Nah,
if
my
we're getting
thighs
on,
ain't getting in there, dude.
Nah,
so
dog.
We got a
everyone
big and tall section because that's where we're heading.
like, when you see everyone at like work events, you know, like a conference or something like that, everyone just says, "Oh yeah, Lululemon pants." I can't bring myself to spend the money on them.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $100+ on pants, but
I went
if
to
they're
Kohl's
as
and got some
comfortable as
jeans
everybody
for $40.
says, yeah, I mean, I just get some Banana Republic or J. Crew
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
sale, $30 to $40, and
Yeah, hit
we're
that clearance rack.
moving.
Yeah.
But some of this, like, he makes me want to get a pair of pants.
Like him and Max Homa, I was like, that makes sense. Makes
What about
complete
Roger
sense.
Steele? That's your boy.
Makes sense.
Roger's a big dude.
He's
Could he
tall.
give us a
He's
code?
muscular. What's up?
Could he give us a code?
I'll DM
Someone-
him. He's ignored
someone
every
at-
DM since he
yeah.
made it big time, unfortunately. So
Someone at
we
Roger
caught him at a bad time, dude. He's like, yeah, dude, I'd love to make time.
We caught him like the day before.
Literally
was
the
all
day
about
before. He was like, yeah, it was tough. I'll DM him. I'll see. Hey, do you have like a Roger Steele 25 code that we can use for 25% off?
Send him the clip of us talking about Lululemon.
I just want one of
We
the
love Lululemon.
one of the big
Not
hats.
that one.
I
The what?
actually, the big hats are funny. I probably
think
wouldn't bring myself to wear them, but I do find them kind of funny.
Yeah. I just want one to hang on my wall.
Minwoo Lee, dude, he closed it out. Valero, Texas Open, that was Brian Harmon the week after. Texas Children's Tournament.
Yeah.
Brian
Well,
Harmon the next week.
Yeah, which
How many events do they have in Texas?
well they've got those. I think there's only 2
Those
and then they go
two.
back now.
Yeah, but then they're there right now.
Yeah, CJ Cup's in McKinney, Texas. And
What's
I mean,
next?
Shout out Ryan Palmer.
Brian Harmon played really, really well at the Valero Texas Open. But there was so much carnage because of that wind and crazy scores. And then we go into, I mean, does the Masters beat the Players?
Yes. What are we talking about? What? You did not just ask that.
I'm just throwing a question out there. I'm not giving any expression on what I think. Which
Justin.
I think. Look, if the Masters is a 10, the Players is a 9. Like it's competitive. It's in the same realm. No, you disagree?
I think Justin's just trying to piss me off.
I do a good job.
Your boy won both of them.
The Players was great. The Players was awesome. It does not hold hold a candle to or hold
The
a light
sentimental
to, hold a
value
flame
of
to.
Masters is a big deal, and the fact that it was a career Grand Slam. If
You
someone
can
else,
see it.
if someone else won the Masters, what's a better tournament?
The Masters.
Justin Rose wins the Masters.
The Masters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough.
Any of the top 5 win the Masters this year? The Masters. Any of the top 10? I don't even know who was. The Masters.
I want everyone.
The only
just to
way
pay
the Masters
attention
would
to
have
his
sucked
eyes right now.
if Angel Cabrera somehow won it. That's the only way.
I don't know. That'd be pretty
It
wild.
would be crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
Like
We'd be
Freddie
really?
winning it
Like,
again?
That's what we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, Teddy. The Players is a 9, but I think the Masters is just a distant 10 from that 9 somehow.
I 100% agree with you. I just wanted to ask the question, which clearly
It worked out. It worked out, dude.
Fury
We got
of.
pitch slapped right there apparently by that question. I blacked out for a second.
So now
Um,
we're at the RBC Heritage, and Justin Thomas comes out for a win. Which, if we've noticed anything, we've been talking about JT this entire year.
Mhm.
Like, he's back.
What's
So-
his FedEx Cup rank right now?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I got it pulled up right here. It's loading. Sick internet, Cam.
I was gonna say
Well,
I have it up, but I have to wait.
So JT's third.
He's third. He's third.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we got Rory, Scotty, JT, Sepp Straka, and Teddy's boy Russell Henley in our top 5.
Don't look.
I don't love that you keep saying it
Not gonna like
because like the way who's 6?
Andrew Novak.
Oh.
So I think Justin might be confusing us because I didn't like Russell Henley. I was like, don't give me Russell Henley on the Ryder Cup. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
I said that.
Maybe that is true. That could be it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were trying because like I haven't been a Russell Henley hater by any means.
Honestly, I was getting on the Sepp Straka train and the Russell Henley train. Remember when we were talking about the Masters, Teddy? And I put together this entire spreadsheet of driving and all the accuracy and all this stuff. It proved to be dog shit because Russell Henley and Sepp Straka, I don't even think they made the cut at the Masters.
Yeah, the weather was too good.
Yeah, apparently.
It was perfect weather, dude. It was. Anyways,
that Monday softened the course up a lot too, and I think it kind of helped going into the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gone through like all the winners. I'm gonna ask like 5 questions, and we'll just get the responses. Best performance of the first part of the year, Teddy.
Just like in total, like
Just
from
one player
the beginning to right now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you not like one specific performance?
Just best performance of player, like through the half part of the season. The half part of the season.
For this half of the season,
if it's anybody other than Rory, it's the wrong answer. I mean,
perfect. Outside of Rory, who's your answer?
Okay, here we go. I'd say JT.
Okay. Cam?
I'd say JT.
Yeah, I can concur with Teddy on the JT. Outside of Rory, JT. Hate to say it, but like looking at the FedEx Cup rankings and see Novak at 6, I didn't know who Andrew Novak was 3 months ago. Never heard of him.
Totally.
He's playing well. He may not do it for the golf viewership, but he's like objectively having a very good season relative to where he was at before.
Yeah. I mean, outside of Rory and JT, I was thinking like Russell Henley because he's actually just been up there. So
yeah, I'm tired of talking about Russell Henley.
All right, so next one, biggest surprise of the year, like player surprise, like comes out.
I said Scotty not winning yet. Like I put that in earlier today. I fully expected Scotty to win before now. I think a lot of people did.
What do you think, Teddy?
I would say finding out that Liv is behind Bryson's YouTube channel.
Also shocking.
That was the biggest.
The Saudis like own
just what?
Bryson DeChambeau's YouTube channel.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's the biggest shock of the year.
It was probably like what, a month ago that kind of came out and kind of circled.
Yeah, like right before they made the announcement of like Grant and all that.
Yeah.
It was around that same time.
I mean, I don't think it changes anything for me. But
not necessarily, but it is like, wait, what?
But you know what's like really funny is like, didn't Phil Mickelson like make a big scene about how they can't do anything on their own because the PGA Tour contracts, but now Live like owns Bryson's YouTube channel, so isn't it like the same thing?
Valid. Yeah.
Like they can make the additional content. That's different, but it's like, what are we
But it's
doing?
still not
Yeah,
yours.
Huh.
Yeah. Sorry to do that to you, Justin. I thought you knew.
if you need
Honestly,
to take a minute, we can pause.
I am
We can cut
so
this out
over.
if we need.
I'm so over Bryson's YouTube and Grant Horvat. Like I just can't watch Grant Horvat anymore. I don't.
See, I like Grant. He's a nice, wholesome guy.
I do. I can't
I
stand watching him and Phil anymore.
I think the creators are smart, like to kind of go that route. Like Foreplay is pretty PGA heavy, right? Foreplay is PGA. They play with the PGA Tour guys. They'll probably play with Live guys, but not so much as they do PGA Tour. But like Grant and Bob Does Sports kind of leaning that direction, I think is very smart for them. I mean, Grant literally just hosted on his channel like the Creator Classic of Live Golf, and there's no shot Live owns Grant's YouTube channel, right? Maybe. I hope not.
Who knows? Can't say for sure. We'll find out.
I feel like that would have came out. I feel like that would have came out. If it came out for Bryson, it'd come out for Grant, like one of the biggest US YouTube guys.
And if that was the case, then he wouldn't have been invited to the PGA Tour event, right?
That's something we haven't even touched, is Wesley Bryan getting suspended.
Well, that's where I was going with it next and how does that happen?
Let's get through the questions, and then we can come back and end on Wesley Bryan being suspended, while simultaneously the PGA sponsor or a sponsor of an event is inviting Grant to play.
Yeah.
Let's close with that.
All right. So Teddy, worst performance the first part of the year.
Oh. I don't know. I don't really have like a specific one. I'm trying to think if anybody really choked. I mean, I guess I don't know. JJ Spawn just not getting it done when he needed to.
It's one direction.
But I mean, he was.
That would have changed his whole career. Yeah, winning the.
It would have
player.
changed his whole life. I think it's tough because, like, I mean, he was in that position when people didn't think he would be at the beginning of the week, so it's tough to call it that. But if you think, like, if you can redo that putt, make it, win the players, like, who knows if Rory wins the Masters.
Right.
I mean, do we consider? I mean, Cam, you kind of mentioned Scotty not winning.
I kind of put that little tongue in cheek because of the previous questions. Like, yeah, surprise, Scotty not winning. Worst performance, Scotty not winning because he won 9,000 times. Yeah. But I kind of like, from a season-long perspective, put Wyndham Clark. I mean, he won the 2023 U.S. Open and really hasn't done much since, I think. Has he?
I mean, I almost go like to Hideki because you come out with a win and then just fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Or Colin.
But he did win.
And that's why I had Colin there, because Collins came close, but like just has not been able to close the deal.
Actually, we got to rewind. I mean, it's clear cut Max Homa, is it not?
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those, like, you just don't even think about him because it's been so bad.
Because it's been so awful. His caddy left him. His caddy literally just like, hey, dude, this isn't. I have bills to pay. It's just not happening with you.
Especially since last year he was successful, I would say. Mm-hmm. I don't say it was a horrible year, but yeah.
He showed up at Augusta. I mean, he was like top 12, I think.
Mm-hmm. Turned around.
Like he gets invited back to Augusta every year because he finishes in top 12, I think. So, but
all right, yeah, Max Homa.
It's got to be Max Homa.
Worst performance. All right, so does Scotty win this year, and when do you predict him winning?
Yes, this week, CJ Cup. We are definitely recording this before the Thursday round of the CJ Cup. He did not shoot 10 under today on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put yes this morning on the sheet. I was like, there's just no way it's Scotty. Like, He won 8, 9 times last year. Like he's not going to win that much,
Yeah.
but he's still going to be in the mix. He's going to rattle off some really deep rounds like he did today, and I think there's just no shot he doesn't win. He'll probably win again after the CJ Cup if he wins this week. Like he's going to win.
Yeah,
I my
I think either this week or I mean you almost I get wanting to like take Rory for like the PGA, but just the way Scotty's playing, it's like okay, he's gonna win. He's gonna win soon, so it's either gonna be the PGA or he'll probably win like the Memorial or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 2 weeks after, like one of those events.
I think he's got a real good shot at major wise at the PGA at Quail Hollow, and then I think he's going to play Oakmont pretty well as well. He just
Yeah.
hits his irons way too well to. He's going to set himself apart
I
from
just think it's in his
a
head
lot
at
of
this
folks.
point. I mean, and obviously this was before we saw what he did today. But I put he won't win until after the U.S. Open. I hope I'm completely wrong because I want to see him rattle off some wins. But I was like looking at it and I'm like, oh, I could see him go like into a deep run after the pressure of the like most of the majors are over.
I have a question. Would you prefer at this point for Scotty to win 3 tournaments from this point on, or for Rory to win 3 non-major tournaments this year, like 3 more? That would put Rory at 6 wins for the year. And he'd have a season like Scotty had last year. We'd have like a repeat, just a different player.
Yeah, I think I'd rather see Rory just win 3 more events like throughout the rest of the year because then it's like okay, he's still competitive, still playing good golf. Whereas like if he just did nothing for the rest of the year, then it's like okay, well that was just a fluke,
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens the next few years.
yeah, I agree. We're gonna have like Rory's gonna retire. He's 35. He's not gonna retire anytime soon. But like Scotty's like 7 years behind him in age. Like we're gonna have plenty of Scotty time. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I would love to see Rory just rip off more wins and have like
I'd love a Tiger like season from Rory this year. I think that would just be absolutely incredible.
yeah. I mean that would be awesome. I mean this is gonna sound bad. I don't care if Scotty doesn't win the rest of the year. Like he's gonna have enough top tens in there, and he's still gonna play wonderful golf. He's just gonna have some stuff to get over mentally, I think, because I think that's the issue with Scotty right now. I mean, last year before he was started rattling off wins, it was like, oh, putter. Everyone was talking about his putter. Now it's like Scotty's got some fire, which is kind of weird to see.
He's tired, man. He's got a kid now.
That's very.
It's
That's very
patience,
true.
dude.
All right.
I don't think he's got anything going on in his head right now. He just shot 10 under par at CJ Cup. He's probably never been more confident this year.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
I mean, he
spoiler.
did not shoot 10 under at the CJ
Yeah.
Cup because this is Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I had one question on there. What was your favorite tournament? We all obviously answered that earlier. So, I think the Brian Bros thing, that's actually a good kind of conversation on this, Cam. I mean, we haven't talked about it.
Yes.
They obviously
So,
announced it that he got suspended from the PGA Tour.
and it's indefinitely, as I understand it. Like he's
Correct.
like,
Yeah,
they'll just let me know when I can come back.
he said he's gonna appeal it, which
Yeah.
who knows when that's gonna actually happen. But
I have a question. My thought, so for the listeners, if you don't know, Wesley Bryan was suspended by the PGA Tour for partaking in an unauthorized event, which was the Lives, I forget what they called it, but Creator
Just
Classic,
duels.
essentially.
The
On
Miami one, yeah. Duels, yeah.
Duels on Grant Horvat's YouTube channel. It was a Live like official, I won't say official event because it wasn't like they got points or
Yeah.
anything through Live scoring system.
I mean,
But
they
the
don't
tour,
get points and live events either. But
yeah,
World
thanks for
golf.
listening, guys. We'll catch you next time on Pitchmark Collective. Anyways, suspended indefinitely. He confirmed it on a YouTube video like a couple days later, yada, yada, yada. And then literally as they're suspending Wesley Bryan, Grant Horvat receives a sponsor invite to a PGA Tour event. Why that's important? Grant Horvat also played in the duels, and the duels was hosted on his YouTube channel. I understand that the sponsor's invite is through the sponsor running the event. Do you know what event it was? I can't. I'm blanking off the top of my head.
I can't remember. I'll look it up though.
It was. I think it was one of the alternate ones, right? It wasn't like the big.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think he respectfully declined, which I was like, kind of a weird move. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you go play?
Wait, wasn't it the Barracuda?
That's what it was. The Barracuda.
Yeah. Oh, Justin's frozen.
I thought he was Googling. He froze because he was Googling. So the Barracuda, I think, is what it was reported. Like,
yeah.
Teddy, what are your thoughts on that? I think he declined it. Like, why? Why would he?
I mean, Justin just told us in the chat. So I think for like the YouTubers, I would probably do the same. Like, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're going to look like you have no idea how to play golf. You're going to get boat raced by everybody in the event. You're going to look like Anthony Kim, essentially, like those first few tournaments. Probably not even that good, because Anthony Kim was pretty good before the hiatus. So I think you're not really doing yourself any good. I would just keep riding the momentum of, my YouTube channel and playing with other professional golfers with a 5-stroke lead in a more casual setting.
I do like those videos.
Yeah, they're great.
But isn't the Barracuda the one where they do like the point system?
Yeah, it's the what do they call it? Stableford. Out in what's it called?
Puerto Rico?
Tahoe. No, it's like Tahoe, I think.
Nick Dunlap won it last year. Akshay the year before. Ches Reavy the year before that. I don't know. I think like you don't really have anything to lose, and you get to go play in a professional tour event.
Yeah,
he's good. Like, I'm not expecting him to go win, but like,
you don't have anything to lose, but do you have anything to gain by doing that as Grant Horvat?
No.
I mean,
no. The same people that watch his channel, like, if anything, he's doing a service to the PGA Tour by getting on there. And I'm not saying more people watch his channel than professional golf, but the people that watch his channel, like,
you think it damages his image a little bit for them?
I think it would. If you go out there, shoot 84, 82, it's like, cool.
True.
That was fun.
Yeah, you're trash, Grant. Never watching your YouTube channel again because you shot 82.
Yeah, but
he's a phony.
It is interesting how
he's a phony.
Sorry, Justin.
Every time I make a one-liner, he freezes.
It's interesting how delusional people are about like professional golf, because like,
Teddy and I know all about delusions when it comes to golf.
But
yeah, don't worry.
We know a guy. He's like a 10 handicap, claims to be a 4. He says he's hitting 5-iron, 230 yards. And that's why we asked you about your 230-yard club. Anyways, moving on.
Got it. I don't know. There's so many people out there that are like, oh yeah. Like, I've even had people say it to me, I'm like, I'm a 2. I'm not even close to like being good enough to play on anything. What are you talking about? They're like, if you practice long enough, I bet you could. I'm like, not a chance. There's not
at 40 years old, but maybe like,
I don't even think of that. Because dude, they're like, I've got a buddy of mine who played in Florida, and he was like, I can shoot 68 anywhere. I can't shoot 65, and that's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't understand how hard it is to actually shoot 65, and then throw them on a hard golf course
with fans and money on the line and your livelihood. And
yeah. I mean, how hard is it to close a software deal to make rent, let alone make a 10-foot putt where like that's your mortgage on the line. or
Hoss, we stay
zero.
closing deals, man. That shit's easy.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm having a tough year, to be honest with you.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely like when people ask me, like, yeah, dude, you like, I'm not good at golf. I've never once said I'm a good golfer, but I play with people who like to golf, and I'm better than them. Like they say that they're like, yeah, you're pretty good. I'm like, buddy,
buddy.
no, I'm not. I'm just a little slightly better than you because I can actually kind of know where my tee shot's going. You do not.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm closer to a scratch golfer than a scratch golfer is to a pro golfer.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm like balancing between a 10 and a 9 handicap.
Because you could actually become a scratch in, I bet, a couple years of actually like playing and putting some work in. I bet you could be scratch
Yeah,
in a couple years.
maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
That's the next video series.
I will say I used the jailbird for the first time in Portland last week. I'm a fan.
Oh, I love it.
The mill jail. I'm a fan, dude. I didn't have any 3 putts. My problem was I wasn't hitting the putts hard enough. Left a few right in the heart, maybe a couple inches short. But like I'm fine with that. If that's my first putt at the pole, like I gave it a shot. Like obviously I didn't hit it hard enough. It was never gonna make it. But like my lines were good. It started on the line I wanted to hit it on. Speed will come with usage, I think, I
Yeah.
didn't blow anything by a hole from 40 feet away. Big fan of the Jailbird, unofficial endorsement of the Jailbird putters.
Well, that's two of us because I've been using my jailbird for
Yeah.
8 months now. I love it.
I am in on Jailbirds.
I've
we got off
witnessed
track here.
Justin make so many putts on Bermuda greens.
He
with
was using the Jailbird.
He was.
Nice.
It was a major key.
At the Mission Inn or wherever
Yeah.
you played.
That
The
was it.
Guadalajara
Mission.
course. We got off track. Wesley Bryan got suspended by the PGA Tour. The
Anyways,
PGA Tour
he's out.
sponsor.
Grant's in.
Grant's in.
That's
Grant's
about
now
it.
taking spots from pro players and sponsored in events. That's what people think. So
Justin's back.
do we have anything we want to say further about the Wesley Bryan situation? Oh, I had a question. He's got to be like, would it be smart for Liv to just be like, hey, dude, here's $2 million for 2 years.
For us.
Come play. Like, why would they not jump on that? I know
Yeah.
they like. Do they want to keep expanding the field to have all these wild cards? Probably not. But like, why not be like Wesley? We love you. Come.
And George. Get them both.
Do you
Why
think
not?
they accept it though? They're pretty faithful to the PGA Tour in the way that they talk about things.
I mean,
I will say I think they've like Wesley Bryan's won on the PGA Tour, right? And George, like, I agree with you, Justin. They are like I think the legacy aspect of like the PGA Tour is appealing to them, but it's like you've kind of ran your course with the PGA Tour guys.
yeah, you just got suspended indefinitely. So
You're suspended
screw it.
indefinitely. You're closer to 40 than you are to 30. Go play on Live if they're like maybe they're probably not getting the invite. Like I just don't get why they're not. Like why not?
They both qualified for the U.S. Open.
No, I think they have to go. They qualified for
the
they
next
got
round.
another round of golf.
Yeah. But they both made
That'd
it
be
through,
cool.
which is badass.
Oh, hashtag I'll be at Friday at the U.S. Open. Just saying, Oakmont.
Cool. Second
Wild
about.
flex.
All right, so we covered Wesley Bryan very chaotically. We covered our mid-year recap. We talked about how many golfers it would take to beat up one singular gorilla.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Can I just get an explanation from Justin on what pitch slapped means?
Yes. For the listeners, Justin's little bubble says hashtag pitch slapped.
Yeah, I'm
A
just
play on
curious.
words from an inappropriate word, Justin. This is a child-friendly podcast, so thanks for that.
Is that what this is from? Is that all it is? Is there really nothing further than that?
Nothing. Nope.
So it's
Okay.
really just like, hey, I'm logging into StreamYard, unofficial endorsement of StreamYard, our streaming platform. And you know what? I'm gonna make my little blurb a hashtag and have it say pitch slap. There's no thought behind it outside of that.
No, I was trying to think of something that went with pitch mark, and that just kind of came up.
Okay.
It came up because pitch rhymes with a bad word.
That honestly, it wasn't even like it wasn't even that.
That's just
I don't
that's me. That's me being immature, Justin. Okay.
know. You're reading too much into it, Teddy.
I just was curious. I didn't know. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
And Teddy
That was
refused to
all.
blurb. So
I did.
who are you to question other people's blurbs when you don't blurb yourself?
I wish I had thought of pitch slap. I think that was clever and creative.
Oh, you're a creative genius now, Justin. Are you
That's
aware of
the
that?
first compliment I've ever gotten from Teddy on this show.
That's well, maybe on the show.
Maybe on the show. I'm sure he gave you a couple of like nice shots when you guys played golf.
That's pretty much all I said all day.
Only the ones I was hitting out of the mud.
Well, that was on the 18th hole. I'm sure I said something before that.
Yeah. So, all
All right,
right,
I think it's gonna wrap us up here, huh?
good to go.
For the listeners, we're the Pitchmark Collective on all platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We appreciate your viewership, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.